oh my God, what's going to happen if I don't get the key first? And he said, you read the script, right? I said, yeah. He goes, well, we'll cut. Like, you survive. And I was like, oh, okay, I forgot. Because the traps feel really real, and they are really real. I mean, there were real saws behind our heads. Those were not, they weren't fake saws. They were dangerous and real. And so it felt so real that I was terrified the whole time of filming. And Held Hostage was a movie I did for Lifetime, based on a true story about a woman who was taken hostage, and her and her daughter were taken hostage. Dynamite was strapped to her daughter, and she was forced to rob the bank that she worked at. And then she was kind of prosecuted. They thought maybe she was behind it all. And I got to meet the real woman and the daughter that was based on. And it was really an intense project to film. You have a copy of it. Oh. It was a very intense project to film. You are so cute. Don't you just want to watch him? Anyway, so it was a very intense project to film. And the little girl in the movie is so amazing, so brilliant. Oh, what do you want to know? Any other questions? This is hard. Yes.
What was it like coming to Angel after Darla already died?
Oh, I was surprised. I thought, because I boofed, you know? I mean, I boofed. I went to dust. I didn't think it was possible to bring a vampire back to life. And I ran into David Boreanaz one day on the Paramount lot, and he said, Benz, we're bringing you back. And I thought he was just kidding. And I was like, sure you are. And he goes, no, we are. And so then my agents got the call, and they sent me the script. And I was reading the script, and Darla wasn't in it halfway through. Darla still wasn't in it 3/4 of the way through. I'm like getting to the end, and I'm like, where the hell is Darla? And then I turn to the last page, and it says, you know, she's naked in the box. And I was like, oh, wow. So I was shocked. And I had a great time. I was so happy that they did that, because we got to explore more of Darla's life and her past. And season 2 of Angel was just a real treat for me to explore Darla. Yes?
Do you see yourself working down the line in projects, maybe in the Marvel universe or something?
Oh, I would love to. I would really love to. Why don't you all hit him up on Twitter? That would be awesome. Yes?
Back in 1990, you started Two Evil Eyes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. How was it working with Dario Argento and Sergio Romero?
Well, I was 16 years old when I did that. That was my very, 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 very first movie. That's how I got my SAG card. I didn't know who Dario Argento was. I knew who George Romero was, though, because I grew up in Pittsburgh, and he's an icon in the city of Pittsburgh, because he filmed all his movies there. So I knew who he was. Dario didn't speak any English, and he was just kind of this like crazy Italian. And I actually went in just to be an extra in the movie, and he saw me, and he pulled me aside with my mom, and he pulled us into an office, and he goes, do you want to be in my movie? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, no. Do you want to be in my movie? And I was like, yes, I want to be in your movie. He goes, okay. And he's like, I give you a part. And we were like, all right. And he goes, you play Betty. And I was like, okay. I thought Betty was an extra. I didn't know Betty had like lines or anything. And so my mom was like, all right, sure, she plays Betty, okay. And by the time we got home, they called and negotiated a really crappy deal. I was happy. And so I played Betty, and I had like 5 lines of Harvey Keitel, who I didn't know who he was either. And it was fun. It was my very first time on set, so I was overwhelmed and nervous, and still can't believe it's out there after all these years. Yes?
I don't know if it's true or not, but on the internet it said you did audition for Eyes Wide Shut. So I want to know if it's true, and how was your relationship with Stanley Kubrick?
Well, I never got to meet him. we were all put on tape for him. I did audition for Eyes Wide Shut, and I had to audition in a bikini, which I did. And then they wanted me to come in and audition topless and be filmed auditioning topless. And I made a decision at that point that I was uncomfortable with that. I was uncomfortable auditioning in a bikini in the first place, but it felt weird to be put on tape topless, and there was no script, so I didn't understand why they were asking. Now, once I saw the movie, I kind of understood why, but because there was no script and because they were being very tight-lipped about the reason, I just had to make a judgment call. And maybe it wasn't the right choice, but I don't regret it, because for me, it was the right choice. You know, who knows, that footage would probably be on the DVD extras right now. And, I mean, it's hard enough auditioning. It's hard enough auditioning in a bikini. Imagine auditioning topless. Oh, terrifying. So, yeah, but that is a true story. You guys are good. You're asking me off my game. Yes.
Julie, were you comfortable in this housewife? Because I think both decisions to do that play lesbian in this housewife. So, how was your experience on that show?
Oh, I had a great experience in Desperate Housewives. I got the offer to do Desperate Housewives the day after the Dexter season 4 finale aired. So for me, it was in many ways the universe taking care of me, because I got to go work with women who had inspired me over the years on a show that I was a huge fan of, and play a really fun, quirky character who, you know, and I got to stretch some comedy muscles, which I hadn't done in a long time. So I felt it was such a great place to kind of heal from the loss of Rita, to go, and the women were all so wonderful, and I've known Dana for years. We did a pilot together years and years ago. So yeah, it was fine. I mean, the difference between kissing a man and kissing a woman is a woman smells pretty, and you know. So yeah, so it was fine. Yeah, it was funny to watch all the guys in the room, their reaction to our kissing, because we were like, whatever, it's no different than having to kiss a guy in a scene. But there were some extras that couldn't stop looking, and they weren't supposed to be looking, and they had to keep telling them, like, you can't pay attention to what's going on over here. You know, you have to be in your scene over here. So it was funny. But yes, you're awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your first big leading role in the movie was in Jawbreaker. Can you tell something about that experience? And then you did the crazy movie George of the Jungle Part 2.
As a kid's movie. Yeah, Jawbreaker was a lot of fun. I mean, we were all in our mid-20s playing high school kids. Darren Stein, who directed it, is still a very good friend of mine. It was just a fun kind of candy bar movie. You know, when those Mean Girl movies were all the rage, and it was fun to be a part of. It was kind of an homage to Heathers and some of the other films before us, and we had a blast shooting it. It was a lot of fun, and especially, you know, I loved my prom dress that I got to wear, and I made them crimp my hair. I was obsessed with getting my hair crimped for the prom. It was fun to pretend to be in high school when you were 25 in your life. And the other, what was the other movie? Oh, George of the Jungle 2. Yeah, I did that so like my nieces and nephews could see me in something, because they're not watching Dexter. Or Defiance even. But yeah, no, that was the sequel to George of the Jungle. It was for straight to DVD. We shot in Australia for 3 months. Not a bad place to be on location. And it was fun. I mean, to play Ursula, once again, I felt like I was in, you know, an animated film, even though it was live action. We had a great time, and working with the animals was kind of scary, but kind of fun too.
Was it real stuff, or a lot of in blue and green screens, a lot of studio work?
They built an amazing set inside of the studio. We did do some green screen work, but it was mostly set, and then the animals were there kind of behind glass, because they had all these rules about the lions and stuff. I mean, go figure, they would attack us. But it was a lot of fun. Yes?
There's a lot of great American shows now on television. Of which one do you think, damn, that's a shame I'm not in that one?
It's hard to think that way, because I feel very lucky to be in Defiance. However, I mean, I know it's not an American show, but I would love to be in Game of Thrones. Really would. I think that would be a great show to be a part of. I'm fascinated by that show. I don't know how they shoot it. It's crazy. They shoot over 3 different locations, and the mythology behind it all is so deep, and the costumes are spectacular. And
but I think you would have to go topless in that one.
I'd be okay with that. See, there's a difference when you're 20 and you're being asked to be topless, and then when you're 41. See, no one asked you at 41. Anyone else? Yes.
Do you think it's getting harder for women of 41 and older to get more jobs in really, really good movies?
Well, I mean, I think that there's a generation before me that paved the way of really phenomenal actresses that have paved the way and opened up doors and shown Hollywood that women are vibrant in their 40s and that we're not old. So I'm kind of riding on their coattails. I feel right now, especially in television, there's a lot of opportunity for women. It's one of the reasons why I love Defiance, because all the female characters on the show are extremely complex and very complicated women, and you don't see that very often in a show. Too many times you have the mother-wife victim role, and on Defiance we don't have that, and that's important to me, to continue to take strong, badass females into my 40s. But I do feel that it is hard. The competition's hard because you have a lot of out-of-work actors and actresses in their 40s, so the competition gets a little steeper. But I think they're starting to finally acknowledge that women are vibrant and beautiful the older they get, so it's about time. Yes.
Can I ask, what do you